Okay, so we're in northern Italy, near Vicenza, an area quite renowned for its excellence in the motor racing industry. You've got OZ Wheels, Brembo, Alpine Stars. Craig, who else have we got? Campagnolo, Dainese. Yeah. And we're at extreme-racing-shox, and we're here with Franco Fratton and Dave Garland, and we're going to talk about, well, we're just going to talk about a damper, basically, a coil damper with high and low speed compression and rebound, but we'll go into the details of it a bit later. Look, you know, we hear it kind of, you know, in the mountain bike world, almost every month there's something new, right, blah, blah, blah. Look, you got a shock absorber, right? Let's put it into perspective. What do we have at the minute? We have Fox, we have an RC4, maybe 5 adjustments on it. We have a Vivid, obviously been upgraded, with you know not too many adjustments. Then you have a Cane Creek double barrel, maybe kind of, how many is it, Dave? There's 24 high and low, 24.
You have a myriad of adjustments. Yeah.
So, and then of course you have the Öhlins. Fantastic shock, but possibly kind of a bit, you know, that's just for one bike. So, what makes this shock absorber different? What is it about it? Franco, do you want to take it up, or?
When I understood the application that we had to somehow accomplish with the damper, we put inside all the knowledge that we have on the different technology that we use on suspension that we produce here. So
who do you produce suspension for?
We produce suspension for Citroën, for Ferrari, for Williams, for Abarth.
Some pretty quick stuff there.
Yes. Mainly a lot of the very, very special stuff it's for cars, but we have a very good history in dirt bike and in quad. The latest championship has been in Italy or in some other European nation, being won with our product. So we have decided to replicate the same technology into this little damper. That, to be honest, is not very little for us, because it is basically a kind of a copy of what an F1 damper is dimension-wise is using.
So my question is, what makes this shock absorber different to your kind of, you know, your Fox or your RockShox or anything like that?
But you spoke earlier regarding...
Forget we spoke earlier.
A lot of different adjustments. We have made it very, very simple. We have focused on the efficiency of the damper and what the damper need to deliver. Okay, so for example, we don't have the control of the pressure to do the bottom out control. We don't have different negative spring inside or whatever. We went away from the air shocks that I know very well, to be honest. Because on a link suspension, I think it's much better to work with a linear spring. And after was, as I said before, to understand the application and try to make the damper to respond in an excellent timing to what is happening under the wheel or on top of the bike. We have very, very good experience in dirt bike, as I was saying, and so we have tried to make anything that is moving for the correct reason, is moving the correct amount, and is controlling the correct amount of spring or force that go into the wheel. So I want to say it's no magic. It's it looks kept to the essential.
From what I've seen, it's really simple. I mean, there's two things, Dave. There's lower pressure, right? You're talking on all those other shocks we mentioned earlier. We've got quite what pressure they're running like. Can we talk in PSI rather than bars? Right?
Anywhere between 150 PSI up to 250 PSI.
And this one is on
about 30 PSI.
But critically, it's about the valving and the oil flow within this shock, which sets it apart. Would you say, is that true?
Yes.
Right.
But there's been a lot of research on finding the correct dimension, even if we are restricted to from where the damper it is in lengths and in sizes. But we try to optimize this.
Don't mention optimize. It's almost overused words in mountain biking.
Okay, but we try to make it very good. Okay?
Yeah.
Very efficient, I will say. The must in this damper is efficiency. It's very efficient while it's moving.
Right.
It's very dynamic. Okay, we can run low pressure because we are capable to avoid cavitation if we have to run high velocity and high damping. The pressure balance inside is very, very good.
Yeah.
The damper have incredible, very little hysteresis. It's a monotube damper.
So it's efficient and it's simple and it's well made. Can we leave it at that? Because I don't want to get into too much detail. Can I just mention as well that these guys have come up with a super light spring. Do you want to fill us in about the spring? Because that's part of the whole deal, really, isn't it?
Yeah, the spring was a key part of, you know, the damper. The reason for wanting to redesign a spring. Currently, mountain bike springs in tie and steel. Okay, tie is relatively light, steel is very
but super
heavy.
expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the design criteria was to come up with a spring equal weight to titanium, with a much finer envelope of design, where you have something. If it says it's a 325 pound spring, it's 325. It's not there or thereabouts.
Who's this shock absorber aimed at? Do you want to take that one, Dave?
It's aimed at someone that wants more of a bespoke unit for their bike, with very, very fine engineering, a fine balance of pressure, which gives incredible bump sensitivity.
I think that is a key thing, isn't it? It's the sensitivity about it. But who's it gonna? Let's talk about it in simple terms. Are they downhillers? Are they enduro racers? You know, who's it for? What range of shocks are you going to make?
They'll be for downhill and enduro.
Yeah.
They're 241.
Yeah.
3-inch stroke.
Right. Okay.
Or 225 or 215s. 57 and 63. They'll all be for 140 mil travel up to 200 mil travel and beyond if the need arises.
So if a rider comes to you and they're going to say, right, I've got a Kona process, I want to go uplifting the bike and my air shock isn't up for the job, you'll give them the shock
designed for the linkage, designed around that person's riding style to a certain degree.
So you telling me you're going to work with the rider a little bit then?
You have to understand the rider in order to give someone a custom tuned shock. That's why the myth of custom tuning. You have to talk to the person or the end user before you can give them something that they're actually looking for.
Is that going to be part of the price?
Yes. To a certain degree, you can only do so much. When a rider has used a piece of equipment, they've used a damper for a certain time, there's always going to be something that you can improve on. And you can't say that's not the case, because that's just the reality of it. We're very, very well prepared to actually make small adjustments to hone in for that rider's personal preference or riding style, and that's part of owning a shock like that. You know, it's future proof to a certain degree because.
Can I say the thing? I think it is important, and it's happened, I think, everywhere in motorsport, that you have to customize your product for your need. So you can design a product, you have to be excellent in all these components, it can have a base that it will be okay, let's say, for everybody, but it is no way that a rider that is 20 kilo more than another, he will be happy, or he will be capable to take out of the product the best. So you will have to do a fine tuning for sure. And I think this damper allowed to achieve fine tuning for the way it's designed and for the type of valving that you have, much quicker to what you can do with another damper. That is one of the area.
I mean, we'll talk about that. It seems a very much simpler system. So what have we done? Okay, we brought two bikes down here to Vicenza. We brought a solid, which I think is a really good up-to-date downhill bike. It's a 27.5. It's a good size. It's aluminium, and I'm not saying that the Vivid Air that was on it was a bad performing shock, but what these guys gave us was two options, and the two options that they gave us was was very high quality. I think what was most noticeable about it was the sensitivity and the kind of traction that offered you, and I think loads of people are going to benefit from that. But the hardest thing for these guys is going to be, no matter how good their shock absorber is that it's going to be governed by what's up front. What happens up front is the first point of contact. That is going to be massive. So I can only see, like, in the future, that if they could build a front fork that kind of match the back, then wow, they'd be on a flyer, really. So that's kind of where it's at. But I think for people, I mean, you're talking fine-tuning here. So for any rider that wants to get engaged in a conversation and some experimentation with the shock absorber, this is a good place to be going. It's the craftsmanship is brilliant. It's quite, I think they're definitely onto something with the lower pressures. When we came to riding the Kona Process, which the Kona Process is a certain style bike, and if you want to be doing uplift on the Kona Process, and you want to be doing hammering it runs in the Alps, or you want to be kind of going to Italy, blah blah blah, it really gives that bike yet another dimension. So there's great experimentation there. But from the two dampers they gave us, one was slightly soft, and the other one was slightly too much compression on it. So, but like I said, if you want to get involved in that engagement and discussion about how you want it, then it's a great place to be. So now what I'm saying to these guys is, look, I want that shock absorber to be in the middle of what you guys offered us, and then you do that, and then you go down the adjusters, and it's great.